Hey guys, Sword here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Target exclusive Ocean Man. I know it's Ocean Master, but dang it, I'm calling him Ocean Man because I love that song from the original SpongeBob movie from like 2005 or earlier. I feel ashamed I don't know the date of that movie. Either way, it's very nostalgic for me, so let me have this one, will you? That said, before we get into the meat and taters of this review, kindly moving Mr. Washman out of the way here. Let's take a look-see about the front and the back of the packaging before we throw it away, because we don't need none of that up in here. There he is once more. A really cool looking figure. We'll get into that in just a moment. Collectible trading card. Business as usual. The picture of him on the front there. I'm just going to say that from now on. It's got a picture of him on the front. I don't know if it's a photograph or artwork or anything anymore. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. I might even be holding this thing upside down, so in case I am, there you go. And if not, there you go. Either way, there's a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure. And other than knowing that this guy's real name is Orm and that he is the blood brother of Aquaman, aka Arthur Curry, that's all I really know about this guy. That and he's kind of a jerk face. So, yeah. I mean, he was in the Aquaman movie, but he didn't really do a lot. I mean, he was a cool villain, but when it comes to Aquaman villains, Black Manta is the one that I know quite a bit about. Other than his real name. Oh, full real name. I believe it's David. Either way. This guy also comes with a trident, which I believe is also recycled from the Endless Winter Aquaman, much like this figure. A little gummy in the handle, or the staff, the pole part there, but it's okay. Gets the job done. I don't think the prongs are gonna warp over time. I think if you have this sitting straight up on a shelf, it'll be fine. A little bit of lumpiness here though, that's kind of weird, but either way, that's that. And then he also includes the typical hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. So, Washman, what has this guy got going on? Because I don't have that Endless Winter Aquaman, funny enough. I have that whole Endless Winter Collectible Frost King wave, but I don't have the Aquaman, which is kind of butt-kiss. He hung out here for the longest time, never went on clearance, just disappeared. I'll tell you folks, so if anyone's got one that they don't want and are willing to send to me free of charge, then by all means, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But if not, I'll just get them later, I guess. But yeah, I like this figure. I like the way he looks for the most part. I kind of prefer the DC Classics one though, at least as far as the cape and the head go, because he's got the more pronounced kind of fins on his mask, and then he's got the big over-exaggerated kind of Mephisto-looking collar. But for a repaint of an Aquaman figure, this isn't too bad. That said, as far as articulation on this guy goes, he can look up quite a bit. Look at that. Get your heart out, Marvel Legends. He can look down, tilt side to side. He can look side to side. Not too shabby. Now, the arms on mine are, speaking of Marvel Legends, very gummy in the bicep cut, of all places. Usually, the elbows might be a little gummy. This guy had very gummy biceps out of package, so much so, I thought I was actually going to break this side. You can see it works, but you can definitely see that in the right place, the peg has definitely got some resistance on it. So, be very, very careful with this figure. I don't know if this is a problem with the Aquaman, but on mine, both biceps were stuck, and this floaty cap on this side was actually stuck. And I got it to work, but it is still pretty darn tootin' tight up in there. Very, very tight joints on this guy in the shoulders and the biceps, which I like the tightness, but it needs to be a little less gummy. That said, he can move his arm out to the side just fine. He's got the bicep cut, as I mentioned, and even on this side, which moves a little bit better than the other one, it's still got that gumminess to it. So I'm probably not going to futz with this guy too much. I mean, I don't have the Aquaman to really pose him fighting against, so that's not a problem for me. He does have the double elbow. It's kind of chunky. He's got the ball hinge wrist, which on this guy, they just pop right out. So he's got the ball hinge wrist. So you get the hinge up and down there, or you can rotate the hand and get the other kind of hinge. So that's cool, I guess. If you're into that, that's fine. That said, on my figure, the left hand plugs in a little tighter than the right. May want to use some adhesive on that just so his trident doesn't weigh that down. Move the arms out so I can show you how the torso moves. It's on a double ball peg there. And it doesn't really crunch it. It's got a little crunch there. A little bit back, but not a ton. Some tilt, but not a ton. The waist swivel, pretty much just a swivel. It's really tight. A little bobbly in the torso too. You might want to put some adhesive in that, especially with this heavy cape weighing him down. Hips, to almost do the splits. I mean, again, eat your heart out, Marvel Legends. Kicks back down, forward and back. He's got a thigh cut. Mostly goes in though. Double knee. Not too loose and not too gaudy looking either. Okay. And then he's got the sculpted ankles, but they do hinge forward and back. They ain't loose. Swivel side to side, and then he's got the rocker with the toe joint, which on both sides ain't anything to write home about. It's pretty loose. This one almost feels like the peg's sticking out of it. What the heck's going on there, man? I'll have to look at that. I don't know what all is going on there. Maybe it's not plugged in all the way. I think I just plugged it in more. I did. It wasn't plugged in. That's wacky. Now the other foot's kind of tight. Okay. Yeah, before that was just flopping around. Alright, so the foot was not put together all the way on mine. Learn something new every day, I guess. Holy crap. Holy crap. I wonder if this side's the same. Oh. That's very interesting. But either way, crazy, wacky, misassembled feet aside, I like the figure. Is it great? It's okay. Could be a lot better, I think, especially with the arms. I'm surprised how gummy these arms are. I mean, I can rotate this all the way around and not worry about breaking it. I mean, both ways. You know, but it's just so out of character for McFarlane to have that problem. So, I don't know if this is just mine or if they're all like this. I imagine they're all like this because McFarlane is pretty consistent when it comes to that type of stuff. But who knows? Could be a fluke, and I might need to pay someone for a replacement. But either way, it's fine. It is what it is. It's Ocean Master, and really, if those arms break, I'm just gonna have my dad pin and super glue it, and it'll be stronger than it ever was. Stronger than a brand new one, I guess. So, yeah. That said, though, since we don't have any Aquaman related characters to compare this guy to, we're just gonna have to keep things short and sweet, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate, and see how this guy stacks up against our two regulars. And with that being said, I guess we'll move right along and do just that. And as promised, here is good old Ocean Man alongside our two regulars, the Mythical Agents Brother Mandibulus, the 11th Spawn, who as usual Towers over everyone, and I know so little about this character, I don't have any funny quips to throw in here, so we're just gonna wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I must admit that this figure has quite the impressive regal presence on the shelf, it does have its shortcomings, particularly with the gumminess in at least the bicep swivels on my particular figure. The right side being a little bit worse than the left, but I also just remembered that McFarlane Toys bicep joints typically have different pegs for each side, the right side usually being a little bit thinner than the left, so maybe that's why that one feels a little bit gummier than the left side, but I'm not sure. Maybe I tore it a bit, maybe I didn't, I don't know. Either way, I had to bust out the hairdryer and the cold water to get these things to work properly, and they still kind of don't. So take precaution when you're messing around with this figure. If yours is like mine, maybe they're not all like that, maybe they are, I have no idea. I'm only able to look at the one in front of me, and the one in front of me has gummy biceps, and that sucks, because that's usually something I dog on Hasbro for, not McFarlane Toys. But this is also an older body mold, and one that I don't think they're going to be using anytime soon, so at least we don't have to worry about this in the near to distant future, because I do believe the Page Punchers Aquaman wave is using new 100% unique bodies for those characters, and also has my boy Black Mana in the wave, so you bet your sweet arse I will be checking that one out. But if you did want a companion piece to that Endless Winter Aquaman, this guy isn't bad. I think he's alright, but definitely not one of the best. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions. If you ever want to talk toys or anything in particular, it's the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. As always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when I can't remember what year the flippin' SpongeBob movie came out. I should know this. That said, one last time, Ocean Man. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.